Last minute episode 34. Wow, that was brutal. Last minute
already
episode.
Forgot.
Yeah.
Terrible. Awful.
Well,
Featuring
Dan
Rudy. Welcome aboard. Thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us this week.
Thanks for gracing us.
Yeah, with your presence.
You brought me ice cream. I'm not gonna turn that away.
Yeah.
Come on.
You guys,
This is how we have to entice him. This is how we have to entice him.
I delivered with the
It's the
pizza.
features. It's the features and benefits.
You could thank Nick Bukestad for that.
I can thank that, or I can thank Stonewall Jets for getting knocked out of the playoffs.
Stonewall Jets?
Yeah. Is that who you're working for?
Yeah, they're done. I'm back.
Why? Who'd they lose to?
I don't know.
Were they bad?
Seven Oaks.
Were they bad? Be careful.
Oh, the Raiders.
Be careful. You could go to jail for
Raiders
this
are really good.
Yeah.
Oak Park Raiders?
Seven Oaks.
Seven Oaks. They're the MM.
They were
team?
they were
MM.
They were the number one seed.
Yeah.
We were the 8th seed. We were winning the series at 1.21, but we lost in 6.
Ooh, so Doug Swepper.
Yeah,
That's
well,
not really a sweep.
3 in a row. They won 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
They done swept the remaining. Nailed it.
There you
Sure.
go.
Okay. All right.
Now on the topic of playoffs.
That was really off topic.
Playoffs.
You can't talk
There's
about
guys.
The dream's still alive.
It's not the dream. It's the possibility that certain teams might not make the playoffs, aka natural predators right now.
What are you
They're
talking
like they're like 13 points ahead of us.
No, I
They
know
can
I
lose the
haven't
rest of
watched.
their games. They're gonna make.
I know I haven't watched highlights, but I know they can't have. Impossible. They can't suck that
I'm joking. Literally, they could go on an 0-13 run and finish with 94 points and probably still make playoffs.
Yeah.
But right now, the way it's trending is it looks like it's going to be probably 94, 95 to get it in the West. Now, why are we saying that? Because the Jets played a few games this week, and they had some struggles jumping in and out of positions for playoffs.
Yeah, it's pretty back and forth.
You could say they're jockeying for.
What?
They're jockeying for position. My brain stopped.
That was.
I've always wanted to say they're jockeying for position. They say it on Sports Talk Radio.
Oh, do
they're
they?
like, they're jockeying for position.
They're not.
I thought I could have said.
They're going back and forth.
Yeah, that means jockeying.
This week they dropped out of the playoffs for the first time in like 4 months.
Since like November something.
Yeah.
4
Dan
months.
Ellis, the awesome goalie for Florida that game.
Oh fuck.
The Jets played terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but
I watched like the third.
hashtag watch the
period.
games. I didn't really watch.
I was at clinic. I got home and watched third period. I don't know.
Nick Bukestad.
Again.
Wait, is that
Again.
Bukestad.
2
Nicky
minutes.
B?
No, it was.
They lost 4.
Well, I know he scored. I know he scored.
Barkov had the game winner with like 3 minutes left. So again, second game in a row where they could have gotten a point. Got nothing.
And they done goofed.
Done goofed.
I'm going to bring that hashtag in. Whenever I'm watching a Jets game, I'm just going to do a hashtag watch the game. Hashtag at the game.
Goofed.
At the game.
Did we see the score? It was 4-2. They lost 4-2 to Florida. Florida, come on!
They're almost in the
That's the easiest game they have left, and
Hey,
they lost
Florida's
it.
top goal scorer.
That's a lie.
it's
They play
okay.
Edmonton. They still play Edmonton.
It's okay. On Saturday night, they beat another playoff position team.
They beat the best team in the NHL at the time.
Tied
for best.
New York Rangers are pretty freaking good right now.
We played the Rangers on Saturday?
No,
Lightning.
we played Lightning on Saturday. But I said the Rangers are
There was
pretty
like
good.
6 teams tied for first place in the NHL on Saturday.
Did you know all 4 division leaders, as of before this podcast was recorded? They're all tied with 95 points.
Mm-hmm. Like in the East?
All 4 division leaders.
No. St. Louis, Anaheim, Tampa, and who the frick else?
Wow. Wow. Cam, are you okay? Are you okay?
Real long day today.
Yikes. Anyways, Jets won 2-1. What happened in that game? Oh, yeah, they were losing 1-0.
Then 2 straight goals.
They were losing 1-0. They scored 2 goals in like the last 6 minutes.
Yeah, and
Toby got fucking plastered from behind.
Pavlik played that game.
Pavlik played a nitty win, right?
He won.
Something else happened. Oh, Shice got hit, but that was okay. Toby, though, no, not a hearing. Not even a hearing for that
Well,
one.
because if you go back and watch it,
Yeah, he could have protected himself, kinda, I guess.
at the last minute he stops and goes back the other way. Still got fucking nailed from behind. It's still 5 minutes in a game.
That was one of those when you're like, I wasn't watching.
I'm fine with no suspension, but it's definitely game misconduct because he still fucking ran him into the board.
That was one of those when you saw, like, I saw, like, the Twitter 10-second video. It's like, Tobias sends him, when he gets hit, you're like, oh, that was kind of bad. And then it shows from the other angle, and you're like, oh, and then you see the
3
blood
stitches,
on his helmet.
so he was gone. Trouba started punching the shit out of whoever hit him. He got kicked out, which I think is fucking ridiculous.
Nikita
but whatever.
Kucherov.
So
The other guy didn't get kicked out.
So with
Nikita?
No.
Nice.
the guy that hit Toby got kicked out.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he got 5 in the game.
Oh, okay.
So Jets got a 5-minute power play. They scored twice.
Oh, my goodness.
But at one point, because we were down to our power play defensemen were Jay Harrison and Drew Stafford.
Yeah. That's how we do.
Tag depth right there.
And they scored twice.
They did.
Dude, they called up Keaton Ellerby because Tyler Myers got hurt.
Yeah,
you
but
like Ellerby there.
Ty Mike played last night, and
Tyler
the
Myers.
Jets spanked the piss out of San Jose.
They done
5-2.
spank them.
And there was a
5.
very interesting event for the two of you at the San Jose Sharks game. What would that have been?
Oh,
We have now seen every NHL team.
both of us. Yeah, Dan and me. Every
That was
NHL
the only
team.
team I hadn't seen yet.
Oh, I thought I was going to beat Dan to it.
And you know what?
Tried so hard.
I wasn't gonna go because I had 2 exams today. And then I'm like, you know what? If I study the weekend, I'll be okay.
Yeah,
I could go.
exactly. Right on.
That
There you
was. I didn't see any of it. I just saw. Oh, they're up 1-0.
Well,
Oh, 3-0.
The first goal
the
was
first
in
goal
like a
was
minute
like
or
from
something.
behind the goal line. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, the guy beside me is like, "Oh, bad angle, yeah!" But that's exactly how
Pretty
it
much.
is.
This was a big. Okay, all of them are must wins at this point
Well,
in time. But that,
that-
of all things, to not give up 3 points in that game was huge.
But that pushes
Or not.
the Sharks 6 points behind us.
Yeah,
So
that was
they're-
big boy.
they're-
That was a big boy game.
They're-
Dan's
well,
waving. Dan's
Well,
waving.
you
We have to
never
talk
know.
about our
Hey,
actions.
Hey, you never know because
Never
we're
know.
still not in it. We gotta win probably what?
We got a hill.
So if you they have what? They have 12 games after you figure out
10.
that they're gonna have to win
12?
at
They have
least
10.
at least 6.
They have a lot of home games left too.
Okay,
Yeah.
now listen to this. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
So this is before last game. So yes, you're right. 12 games left. This is before the Sharks game on Tuesday. I believe this is as of, March 15th. Okay. Jets have 8 home games, 5 road games. So 13 remain. So now they have 7 home
7
games,
and
5
5.
road games.
Yep.
After this 4-game homestand, they'll only have 3 though. 4 left.
4.
And
Okay,
5 road
perfect.
games. The LA Kings have 5 home games, 8 road games.
No, they'll have 5 because they've played 1. They got 2.
No, but this is from last night.
I know, but they had 8 home games.
Oh, okay.
So they
They
have
No.
7. They play 2 more games this week. So they'll have 5 after this homestand. Because they only
No,
played,
it was 8 before the homestand.
Well,
I
and
think
their
that's
homestand's
1.
only 3 games.
It's 4.
It's 3.
Will they play St. Louis?
St. Louis, Washington. That's it.
Yeah, but including last night.
No,
Last
it's-
night
it's
is the
4
third game.
it's 4 games.
Last night's the third game.
It's 4 games.
No.
Check it. Check the stats.
Who did they play before
They
last
played
night?
Tampa on the road.
Before last night.
On the road, they played Tampa.
They play St. Louis Thursday, Washington Saturday. They play in Edmonton on Monday.
Okay.
God,
Okay.
That's
Sorry.
a mic drop.
So 5
Phone drop.
Either
home
way-
games, 5 road games.
LA Kings.
LA Kings, I believe they played Monday, but this is before Monday.
Okay.
They had 5 home games left, 9 road games.
Yep.
San Jose has 3 home games, 10 away games before yesterday.
Who are their competition? Because I think LA's
Keep-
playing a lot
keep
of
it going.
East teams.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want LA's full schedule?
No.
No.
But
I
is
checked it
I
last night. They play Edmonton twice. They
damn
play
it.
New.
I could.
They play New Jersey, but every other team is a playoff team.
I can tell you right now.
We don't care.
Well,
Whoa, that was
Nate,
rude.
Hold on.
They play 5 non-playoff teams on the way in. Those teams include the New Jersey Devils, Edmonton Oilers, Colorado Avalanche, Edmonton Oilers, and San Jose Sharks. So they play
Okay, they
Edmonton
play
twice.
But they play teams that are.
Chicago, Minnesota, New York Islanders, New York Rangers, Vancouver, Calgary. So
All
they
I know-
actually control their own destiny going in.
All
so
I
they'll
know-
probably win a division
But they'll
spot.
be-
All I know is that apparently Minnesota has the hardest schedule
Okay, you want to
out
hear
of
it?
all the teams.
I'll compare our schedule to Minnesota's,
It's going to
okay?
be incredibly similar.
Our remaining schedule versus
Ours is
Minnesota's.
Go for Winnipeg first.
Okay. So we played San Jose. So we have St. Louis, Washington, Edmonton, Vancouver, Montreal, Chicago, New York, Vancouver, Minnesota, St. Louis, Colorado, Calgary.
Okay.
So the only
Okay.
easy
Nice.
games are Colorado and Edmonton.
Colorado and Edmonton are the only 2 non-playoff teams that we play
Yeah, easy
on the way
games,
in
those
right now.
teams suck.
And
That's where
potentially
the
Calgary.
Jets always play down.
Yes.
I know,
this
but
is
true.
that's the bad. But you know,
God damn it.
Okay.
honestly, I feel better that they're playing good teams because they play better against good
Exactly.
teams.
But
All right. So
listen to
Minnesota.
Okay, so they played Nashville on Monday, which they won. Because Nashville's playing terrible right now. Then they go Washington, St. Louis, Toronto, New York Islanders, Calgary, Los Angeles Kings, New York Rangers, Detroit, Winnipeg, Colorado, or Chicago, Nashville, St. Louis. They only played 2 non-playoff teams, and one of those teams is the LA Kings, who's going to be a playoff team when they play them.
So the only easy game they have is Toronto. We have Edmonton and Colorado, so ours is not much better.
However, if you look at Calgary's schedule,
They have the easiest.
to
apparently.
compare to Calgary's schedule, this is who Calgary plays on their way in.
Oh, this is going to be a good one.
Okay,
It's
starting Thursday, because they played St. Louis the other day.
Okay. All right.
Philly, Columbus, Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Nashville, Dallas, St. Louis, Edmonton, Arizona, Los Angeles Kings, Winnipeg.
So potentially
We just got a free win with playing Philly.
So potentially
Gosh,
that
damn
last
it.
game of the year could be for the wild card.
That could be wild card.
Is that at
Potentially.
home?
But right now, a lot
that's
of the fancy stats community believes that Calgary is an anomaly, kind of like what Colorado was last year, because their possession numbers are in, I believe, the bottom 5 in the league.
You can't stop
Just look
the
at
Johnny
They
Hockey.
don't have that much talent. I don't get how they're so good.
It's
Berkey.
goaltending. It's goaltending.
Berkey and goaltending.
plus 20, I believe, in goal.
How is their
differential this
goalie?
year.
Right
They
now,
have four different ones. Or three
oh,
different
whoever
ones.
played last night, or was it
Corey Ramo? It might have been
What
Ramo.
the hell? One of them literally
Hiller?
doesn't have like paint on their helmet.
Oh,
it's
it's
like
probably
a
the
solid
other guy.
color.
I don't
Hiller?
know.
Might be Hiller, yeah.
Oh, piss me off. I don't like that. Stupid.
I don't get how I don't get it. They like their team. I'm not going to be critical, but their team's not good. Talent-wise,
They have just pieces and they all contribute. They're not amazing, but they somehow get it done.
they have like you know when Nashville used to make the playoffs every year with like virtually no players.
Yeah.
Calgary team is worse than that. And they're
Yeah.
still
Well,
Guys, they have Yuri Hudler. He had
As
8
of right
points last
now-
week or something like that.
as of right now they're not in a playoff spot. But I mean, that schedule, fuck.
They have Yuri Hudler. That's all they need. He had like 8 points in
because
4
it was
games.
like Hoodler, Monahan, and I think Mayray.
He has.
Remember when Mason Raymond started the season with 5 goals and he scored like 4 since? In the first 5 games, he
all
had
he's
5
got?
goals. I think he only has 9. He might have 10.
That's bad, man. I want to say Calgary would be the team to drop out, but with that schedule, they're gonna have to play pretty bad to drop out.
I think Calgary gets in. And dare I say it, just because I don't like them a lot. But that's fine. They're an incredibly talented team. If LA makes it, I don't think they're going to make it past round 1. Because they got to play the Blues or the Hawks or us. No, Blues or the Hawks. That's it.
No, or Anaheim.
Anaheim.
Oh, damn.
Or Nashville.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they're playing.
Yeah, it'll be the Blues, Nashville, or Anaheim.
This is the year to oust the Kings. Get rid of it.
Now,
Fun fact though,
Uh-oh.
yesterday the Kings had 81 points. On the same day last year, they had 82 points. What happened? They won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I know, but
So-
wait, who's out of their lineup right now with injuries? Or are they all back?
They're good.
Simeon or Slava Voinov.
Voinov,
But that's it. He's not injured.
That's
yeah.
Okay. Now, I have a question for you guys, and I heard this on a different podcast.
Okay.
If LA Kings don't make playoffs this year, what was the one amendment they made last year to the draft lottery?
That every team can get the first pick.
Oh no.
Could you imagine
No!
a Connor McDavid LA Kings?
Yeah, but guess what? If the Jets don't make it, maybe we'll.
Hey,
we'll
No, but I'm not talking
to
Jets.
answer the question. No, I don't want to. It's not fair.
we all
I
know.
won't do it.
We all know Buffalo will win the draft lottery.
Hey, have you
No.
gone on that website? Because I know you have. The draft lottery simulator.
I did it like a month ago.
Oh, don't
Super
do it.
fun.
Don't do it.
Super
It's
fun.
the worst. I did it 100 times. Guess what? The Flyers won it 6 times. Jets, 11. 11. Yeah, pretty good. I know.
I guess.
McDavid. Woo-woo.
Not bad.
Woo-woo.
So So Jets are 82 points. So they need what? They need to win 6 games realistically to have a chance.
I would say.
Probably 7
I would
or
say
8.
90.
I would say so. They have
94.
12. They have 12.
That's 6 games.
12 games
Yeah.
left. I say 7-5. Guarantee. Oh, doesn't guarantee you. Gives you a 90% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
7-5.
You know what the problem is? The Jets have been on pace for 95 points the whole year. They're still on pace for 95 points. They aren't necessarily playing worse at a worse pace. Everyone else around them is not losing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
that's like
Minnesota's
Well, if you look
lost
at-
2 games in the last 3 months.
20 games ago, 20.
They're 15 points behind
Calgary
us.
was behind. Yeah, that's crazy. Like 20 games ago, Calgary was behind the Jets by 4 points.
Minnesota was like 20
Now they're only behind the Jets by 2 points. 20 games, a quarter of the season. That's ridiculous.
Minnesota,
Like,
yeah, they were like 15
say
points
Minnesota,
behind us.
unbelievable.
They were 15.
Remember when
though,
we were
not
talking
4.
on this podcast that Minnesota's bad, and even Brett was like, "I don't know what's wrong with them." And then you're like,
Fucking
"Hey, let's
Dubnyk.
pick up Devin Dubnyk, and he'll just become a Vezina
Debbie
trophy winner."
Dubner.
We're not gonna win the
Could you imagine if he plays, and if let's say he doesn't keep playing on the pace that he's playing, which is like as good as Carey Price right now, realistically, like he's playing top echelon hockey. If he were to revert back down to kind of, let's say 905, 910. I don't see that team winning as many games. I think they're
course
winning
not.
a lot of
No.
games based on him.
He has 5
So
shutouts.
could you imagine
5.
if he
Our goalies combined don't even have 5 this year.
could you imagine if he just started to fall and then so does Minnesota? Like that schedule's tough. Like what
That's
if
a big boys.
They're the best bet that if you want a team to start faltering, they're the best bet, but they don't seem to want to.
But the
That's
thing
the
is
problem.
too is the Jets can get ahead of them. They just need to keep winning the same amount of games they win, and then that game against Minnesota, they need to win it, and then they need Minnesota to lose
in
one
Minnesota, and you damn well know there's going to be a lot of Jets fans there because you'll hear it. You'll hear it.
Jets could get a big boost. Bufflin could play tomorrow.
He is,
Yes.
isn't he playing tomorrow?
Well, they
play
haven't
tomorrow.
confirmed it because he practiced
You're right.
yesterday.
Brian Little skated today. So did Dustin Buffin. Dustin Buffin's probably going to play tomorrow.
Little
so.
apparently Saturday. They're saying maybe.
Oh really? Hey, just for
Maybe.
Saturday. Oh, sorry. Go Greg.
Well, I was just going to, back to the schedules. The
Yes.
one, kind of the silver lining here is if you look at Minnesota's schedule, they have 3 back-to-backs remaining this season. Jets have 2. But these are their back-to-backs. They go Toronto at home in Minnesota. This is Minnesota.
Okay.
They go Toronto at home or on the road in Toronto. Then they go at home in New York Islanders.
Okay.
So they just go from
Tough
Toronto to Mini, not a long flight. Then their other one is from Minnesota to Los Angeles. Once again, not a super long
Back to
flight.
back?
Back to back.
Whoa!
Like they play the Kings twice in a row.
Yeah, and then they've got back-to-back home games, Winnipeg, Chicago.
Well, that
which
fucks
is
us
tough.
over. Because what if they each win a game? What if they both go to overtime?
Yep,
Oh,
and that's where it is.
God.
That's, you know what? I've got to say, the silver lining to all this playoff race is even if they don't make it, how much fun has this season been? Regardless, let's say they don't.
It's been great.
It's been quite fun. I enjoy it.
Now, obviously, we all want them to. It seems people are starting to say, I've almost heard from everyone, could you imagine that arena
Oh God!
in the
Did
playoffs?
you watch the game last night?
No, but I just heard it was one of the best games to go to in a long
It's
time.
been a while.
Really? I don't know.
I got a standing ovation
Sorry.
for 2 minutes during the commercial break.
Yeah,
after
I
they scored
also-
the third goal.
okay,
You know what? No, but here's the difference, Cam.
The first period was awesome.
Well,
But here's
yeah.
the difference, Cam. You were sitting with the business-like people down in the lower bowl. You
No, I
were
wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He
I
was
was
sitting in
in
the
the
same
dick.
row.
Oh,
as
it's
me.
bullshit
sitting
then.
in the same
He
row
was
one
like 20
section
feet away
over.
from me. I could spit and hit him.
Yeah, like
Literally.
seriously.
Oh, I thought you were lower bowl.
No, that's on Saturday.
No.
Saturday, Dan and I, or whoever's going to the game. Are you
I'm
going?
not going. No,
Oh.
I'm going tomorrow.
I'm being real greedy. I want Ovi to get a Hattie tomorrow.
Is he at 50 if he does?
No, and then he's 2 away, and then Hattie here.
Oh, I
I
see.
want
what
to
you mean.
see it.
Oh, okay.
Get real greedy.
We've
Fine.
already seen 60.
I don't.
We saw
I
60
know,
in
we've
front of us.
seen it. I want to see 50. And
Well-
just before whatever we're doing, Pavs. It was his 40th game yesterday.
Okay.
That's the 6th time in franchise that he's done that. There's only 2 other goalies who have done that. Pavs and 2 other goalies. Who are those 2 goalies? Consecutively. Minimum 6 years in a row that they've
Carly
done that.
Lightning. Oh, sorry.
For Thrashers?
For Thrashers?
No,
Oh,
for
in the league.
NHL
Because
period.
no goalie's played more than 6 years for us except for Pavlik.
Yeah,
Uh,
Pavlik, that was his 40th game, and that's his 6th time
Marty,
playing 40 plus.
Brodeur.
Nope. Current, sorry. So that's
Still in the league.
obviously
So-
right.
Play-
Roberto Luongo.
Currently playing.
Roberto Luongo.
So they played at least 40 games in their first 6 years.
No, in
No,
6
40th
years.
game.
40
Minimum-
games a year for six years straight.
Carey
Minimum
Price,
40
Carey
games. Carey Price hasn't played for 6 years.
He's not been in the league.
Lundqvist.
That's one. And the other one, I'm
It's-
surprised you don't
it's
know
not
this because
Luongo?
you should know this.
Oh, Howard.
Jimmy Howard. Yeah, Jimmy
okay.
Howard and Pavs have both done it for 6
Wow.
years. Lundqvist, once he comes back and plays 2 more games, 9 years.
Straight at 40 games. Wow.
Minimum 40 games.
Yeah.
You know what?
Whoa.
Maybe Pavlik will use the goal he let in to turn the season around. Maybe he'll carry them in the playoffs. I don't know.
And yesterday, I did not know this in the middle of the game. They announced Frolik's 500th
Yeah,
game.
it was 500
That's
games.
crazy.
They've had a
Yeah.
couple
Do they
guys
count
this year.
playoff games?
No, it's
Really?
that's regular season.
Wow.
Yeah,
He
but
hasn't been to the playoffs except with Chicago
they've had
No, I know, but I mean,
for
it's been a while.
one playoff run.
they've had Little hit 500 this year. They've had Wheeler hit 500 this year. They've hit
Didn't Stewart hit it?
Ladd hit 500, I think.
Didn't Stu hit it too?
I believe so. Yeah, they've had a few.
Is
They have
Buff-
some veterans
Did
on
Buff
the
hit
team.
it a while ago?
I think he hit it before.
I think it was
must
this year.
have hit
like
it.
couple years
I think
ago.
it was this year.
Oh, okay.
Because
There's a lot of 500.
Because all those guys are around the same age. So I mean,
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, no, I still.
This
I'm
was
not
the
gonna
first guys.
I
so-
still hope they get in. I'm not. I mean, at this point, who knows? I mean, they could win 4 or 5 games in a row, and then they're pretty much golden, or they could lose 5 in a row and be fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You know,
But here's the thing too: his Pavlik. This was the first time that he had started back-to-back games since I believe middle of November.
Yep.
Like November 20th.
Yep.
Since they've entered a playoff spot, I think it was.
he didn't play back.
He hadn't played back-to-back.
Well, that's like, I remember, it's got to go back to that back-to-back where he won and then he lost or something, because I remember saying a stat on here, we're like, oh yeah, this is, Pavlik hasn't won since like November 13th, and he's played like 12 games. I remember
Yeah.
going off on that.
Well, like
He's won. He just didn't win back to back.
Yeah. All right. Any other Jets
Well,
news?
Well, I had a stat. Oh, I was just gonna say, in the 5 games since Buff got hurt, Wheeler has 9 points.
I also have to say,
And Scheisse is doing great too.
yes, and Lowry.
Scheisse
So that's
is shot.
helping. Oh, okay.
It's unreal.
Where did that come from?
I have to. He's always had it. He hit the friggin' post every time.
And he also
That's true.
the other thing with Scheifele, and I think it's him getting comfortable again with finding himself on the ice. Like, none of us have had an ACL injury, but my brother has, and I've learned kind of. It takes a while to like put yourself back. Like you can do as much rehab, much game decisions that you want, but until you're in that moment in the game, it is so hard to get your mind prepared to get to the right spot to take that shot. And really, realistically, it's his second year in the league.
Yeah, and get over the mental block that
Exactly.
you have to do it.
Yeah,
he's
been able to do it.
probably going to hit 50. He's probably going to go over 50 points this year. That's good
How many
for
does
him.
he have right now? 40?
42.
42, yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah,
It's a lot of them.
He's probably. I mean, yeah.
You know what the scary thing too with him that I found is he's doing it quietly. Not a lot of people are saying, "Oh, like
Wow.
he's a 50-point player." Like he's doing it.
They're bringing him along, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
like he's not.
Yep.
He's not like scoring a lot every night or like having these spurts. It's just been like, oh, every second game he gets an assist or whatever.
Yep.
Which is great. And even Frolik, he had a 5-game point streak before the
Wasn't
Tampa
that
Bay
his
game.
longest point streak he had?
Well,
Yeah.
I
But
will
it's-
say Scheifele,
Frolik's
Stafford, Wheeler. That was the line last night.
Yeah, that
They-
was sweet.
They had 8 points last night as the line.
That's pretty good.
Wheeler I like Wheeler going to the net, just crashing bang. Did he score 2 last
Dude,
night?
when he scored,
Yeah.
this is the only highlight I saw of him in the game. When he scored that goal from out of midair, his celebration was to stand there and just look at the puck in the net. And then Scheifele and Stafford came and gave him a hug. But that was it.
I don't remember that puck going in.
He just batted it.
Right
I
in
think it was
front
the
of us.
fourth goal.
He midair. He hit a home run.
Yeah.
That was the joke.
It wasn't very hard.
I
He
wish
just
I would have saw that. It would have been right in
What
front
were
of
you doing?
I don't know. I
I feel
missed
like Cam
every...
goes to the game and he doesn't pay attention to the
I
game.
missed it. I have a lot of ADD. I missed
I wanted
every
to
goal
say
yesterday.
I want to say 2 things. Well,
Go.
okay, 2 points. Point number 1, when they first made the Buffalo trade, I didn't think Drew Stafford was that good a player. I've completely turned a 180 on that. Signed the guy. He's good. He's not flashy like Evander Kane. He's putting up a hell of a lot more points than Kane was. He's got 10 points in 14 games. You put that to a full season, 61 points.
No!
Okay, don't do that, please. That was
definitely want to.
over.
But it comes up on the mic.
what
It's
else was I gonna
very,
say?
very.
Oh, get over it.
No, I'm not getting over it.
What else was I going to say? Tyler Myers is on pace. If they extrapolate his point total for a full year, 63 points.
So next
So that's
year we
two
expect
60-point guys. I'm just saying that's how they're while they're playing. What else are they going to say? Stepniak. That was great.
It's a
move.
great trade.
Great move.
I didn't notice him, so I think he's doing a good job.
I think he's doing great.
He's been honestly, he's been one of their best players since they got him. In my opinion, at least. But
I think I'll reiterate this point, but when this team gets to full health, boy oh boy, they gonna be dangerous.
Are they though?
They're
We
deep.
said that
Oh,
before.
they've never been fully healthy though.
But then when they came for like that,
They
2
haven't
days
been
and-
healthy since they got all these 4 new players. They haven't.
Oh yeah, the 4 new players.
But the sad thing is, they're probably not. If they don't make the playoffs, they won't know what that's like till next year.
Yeah, everyone's saying like, what a shame it would be if the Jets didn't make the playoffs. With the team
You
that
know
they
what?
have.
They're a lot. People picked them to be McDavid, 2015.
Including us.
That's true. You're right.
So it's already, as far as I'm concerned, their season's already been a success. You know, it would still be disappointing at this point if they don't make it, considering that they were in the. They looked like a lock for the whole year.
A little bit of a stat for Mark Scheifele. 11 points in his last 10 games. And he's been stepping up since Little's been out.
Beautiful.
So that's
Yeah.
from Jet Stats Guy. Honestly, one of the best follows on Twitter.
He says some stupid stuff sometimes.
He does. He has some silly things. But he also posted an article, I believe this was on Saturday.
He's good with numbers. He's not good with knowing things.
He
That's what I will say.
broke down players' points or dollars per minute that they're on the ice or something like that. Blake Wheeler makes something, I think it was like $4,000 or $5,000 every minute he's on the ice.
$34,000 a minute, or is it $4,000? Yeah,
$4,000
per
a
minute.
minute.
Yeah, sorry.
Per minute that he's
Yeah.
on the ice. That's crazy. It means if you're on the ice for a minute, that's just $4,000 in your pocket.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Like he plays on average 20 minutes a night. That's 8 grand or one second, let me 80 grand.
Yep.
80 freaking grand for one night. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's professional sports, though.
Professional sports.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that, like, that's really, that's nice. I wish I had that kind of income.
Yep.
Another quick thing before we move on and talk about the GM meetings. And I saw this. 1 second. Let me just get to it. NHL Jets goaltending prospect Jamie Phillips nominated for 2015 Mike Richter Award. Last winner was 2014, which was Connor Hellebuck.
Yikes. Got goalies. We've got goalies upon goalies upon goalies.
So that would be Jamie Phillips, Connor Hellebuck, as well as Eric Comrie
Huh.
in our system right now.
Trade chips, trade bait in the future.
I still think they need to get rid of freaking Pavlik. I like him, but he's just...
With how Hutchinson's played the last month, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Neither of them have been good.
You know what?
It's a lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like, Hutchinson
Play
has
whoever
played
wins the game.
weak.
That's what I do.
He hasn't played well. I think that also goes with a lot more playing time, a lot more...
Well,
But the
he's
other thing,
leveled
too,
out, which was probably expected.
It was expected, but you also look what's been playing in front of him for half the season. Like, no one's had the man games that we've lost this season compared to all the other teams. I don't know.
Columbus has had more.
At the beginning of the year, though. Like, we've had this all season. We had 5 of our top 6 out at one point. Now we have... It's... Our key, Columbus had that, but our key guys have all been out, except for, Wheeler and Ladd. Those are the only 2 guys that have been there all season, I guess, and Scheifele.
Yeah, I heard a stat like that.
Yeah.
Stewart had only Stewart was coming up on his 50 some odd game, and it was the most for a Jet defenseman at that point. And it was he had already missed they were already at game 60 something, I guess, or it would have been soon. And it's oh, that sucks.
I think I read somewhere that because Wheeler missed 1 game or 2 games.
2 games? 2 games.
Before that, since the Jets came back, he missed 4 games in 4 years.
Okay, now here's the last stat.
Very durable.
On average, he misses 1 game a year, which is good for a player.
Yeah, it's very good. The last stat I want to read, and I want your guys' opinion on this.
Yes.
NHL Jets were 21, 9, and 7 with the Vander Kane lineup. They are 13, 14, and 5 without him. Now, is that just an anomaly stat, or is that something deeper that maybe the Jets are a better team with him there because he adds a different element? Now, all of us here have done our fair share of Vander bashing or Kane bashing, but is there a little bit of truth to the stat that maybe, just maybe, the Jets were a better team with him?
I'm going to say no, because when they got rid of him, they were 12 games over 500, and they were 12 games over 500. So I don't think they're any worse. They're still on pace for 95 points.
Yeah,
I don't think they've dropped off. As a team, I think they're better. If you look at how they play, maybe they're not winning, getting as much results, but I think they're stronger as a team without him.
I think for right now, based off that stat, it's showing that they're not as good with Evander Kane. They're not as good without Evander Kane. But with Evander Kane, I think they'd rather deal with not having the headache of not knowing what he's going to say. But on the ice, he did bring something. He's a player of a certain caliber that when he gets breakaways and he causes turnovers.
And other teams have to watch him, right?
Yes, of course, and that might also be why other teams have to watch him. So it might create scoring opportunities, and he does create scoring opportunities. I think in the long run, I'm willing to wait a year to see what that stat is. Obviously, they're not going to lose every game and at the start of next year.
No, exactly.
I think those stats are a little pointless, but I think they get too much. People read too much into it.
You also have to look at
They do
because I have a stat here that says the Jets are 16-8-3 when Jay Harrison plays.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's just
he's a good defenseman, but
it's one of those things where it's. I just wanted to create a debate here.
Yeah. You also have to look at the schedule though, because at the first half of the year you get your Eastern Conference games basically out of the way. So the schedule is a little easier, and then in the second half is where you get the divisional matchups where Evander Kane, he might have an impact in the game, but it's just the competition level is a lot higher since that trade happened.
No, you're right. You're exactly right. I think the team is better off. I think they're deeper, and I think Maurice is a little bit more control over everyone. It seems everyone's bought into what Maurice is saying. I don't think the team would be in the position if Evander Kane was here that they're in right now. That's my firm belief. And obviously, I think in the long run, they're better off without him than with him.
Honestly, I'd take Drew Stafford at this point over Evander Kane.
Now,
also Drew Stafford
different player,
his role, not that Kane.
Different player, but he's more valuable to the team than Kane ever was.
Who do you sign? Toulouse, Stafford, Frolik. Sign 2. You don't sign Toulouse, right? Is that kind of
if I had to dump one, I would dump Toulouse. I'm not saying he's played well. He's got 4 or 5 assists.
Am I just straight up not knowing the knowledge of what Frolik? Just straight up, same money, all of it.
Same money. Signed 2 of 3 for the way they've played this season of what you've seen.
Toulouse's not worth as much as the other two. The other two are about even. Toulouse's not worth as much.
Okay.
I would sign Stafford and Frolik.
If you're able to sign all of them, same contract, $4 million, who do you sign? Who don't you sign? From what you've seen from the eye test.
From the eye test?
Or let's say for this argument, Toulouse accepts $3 million. Because you're saying that Frolik...
Fine, they all accept 3 for 3.
Okay, something like that, yeah.
And I can only pick 2?
You can only pick 2.
Based off the eye test, I like what Drew Stafford brings, but I'm going with Frolik for sure. And I'm going with Toulouse only because from the flashes of offense that I've seen out of Toulouse, I'll take the flashes of offense over the defensive and overall ability of Stafford because
Stafford has 10 points in 14 games.
That's fine, but just based off of like the little, I just like I like the flashiness, I guess per se, of Toulouse personally. But you can teach defense. You can't necessarily teach good offense. Not that Stafford isn't.
I think Stafford's fun.
Just based off the eye test, I'd take Toulouse and Frolik.
I would not. Stafford's playing on your first line. I would not get rid of him.
Argument. And Frolik has played there as well.
Stepniak, I would keep. He's cheap. You can get rid of Slater. There's $1 million. Give it Stepniak.
Hey, Stepniak play center, right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I think that was.
He can play left or right. He can play anywhere. Really.
Sign Stepniak over Slater, please.
My honest opinion, they will try and sign all 4 if they can.
Oh yes.
Not obviously. Saying they're going to be able to. If they can, they will sign all 4.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Maybe they ship out the defenseman Toby. I'm losing it with Toby. He's too small. Makes too many stupid decisions. Just $6 million. $6 million.
And it'll.
You can
give
get
room to a guy like Josh Morrissey to come up.
You can get Frolik and Toulouse probably for that, almost maybe a little more.
You get Toulouse Stafford for sure for what Toby makes. I would say.
Yeah,
you probably could.
Because Stafford's probably going to be.
Or you get Frolik
4 to 5. Yeah.
I think Frolik. I think he's deserved a $4.5 million contract from the Jets for 3 years.
With what he's done, I'd give it to him. I'd give him whatever he wants.
I think
realistically,
not 5. I don't think he's a $5 million player in right now current NHL with the way the cap situation is. I think it's just too hard pressed. And what you have to do
4.5 though, I would do. Yeah.
I think if you're Chevy and you're talking to Frolik or you're talking to any of these guys and say you're going to be a vital part of this team next year. If you want to start winning, if we need. This is a contract we're offering you because this is a contract we feel best fits if we're able to win. Look at the contracts we signed last year. Look at all the cap room they had. They were able to make these deals because they had so much cap room. You can't pull off these deals if you are close to the cap, as you've seen with Toronto or Philadelphia. Like, Chicago's been able to do it, but the only reason why they were able to do that Vermette trade was because Kane was on long-term IR. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to do it.
They can make it work. I mean...
Oh, for sure.
Matt Halishchuk, out the door. There's Stepniak's money right there.
See, I would love to keep Halishchuk.
He's so useless.
No, he's
fast.
He's fast, but that's it.
That creates turnovers.
I like him. Because...
Playoffs, he's not the guy you want on your 4th line.
I would love to see him.
I would get rid of him.
They won't give him a chance.
Him out the door, Stepniak. Easy.
Yeah, okay.
Slater gone... Lowry, you already got a guy if you play center if you want. You can bring up
Stepniak can play center,
but if you sign,
I think so.
If you sign those 4 guys, it gives you a little bit more time with your Tan, Ehlers, and if the farm team is going to be here next year, that's also happened this week.
That happened last week.
No, but it happened. We potentially talked about it.
But if
your
AHL team is going to be here, you can watch those guys up close. So you don't have to rush them right in.
I will be doing.
We all will be doing.
I think they'll make it work to get all 4. That's my opinion.
And that's what I want.
I think the only...
sorry. Tyler Myers, way better than Zach Bogosian.
Yeah, I think he's benefiting too.
Physically, physical play, no. He's not a physical guy, but benefit to the team.
Weird. I find that big.
Benefit to the team, though. I mean, he had 9 points in 11 games.
I don't think, and you're making a mistake that a lot of people, I'm not trying to harp on you, But when you base everything on points, you don't look at their actual value as a player.
I'm
I
looking
feel.
at what he does on the ice, though.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
So
And I
with the
think
puck.
that
He gets the
when-
puck up the ice quick. He's so he gets back. He's the first guy back.
One of my biggest problems with hockey fans,
He's
though,
not a Band-Aid.
He did that yesterday.
what I've heard from a lot of people is, oh, Scheifele's not that good. He's not putting up 60, 70 points a season. And it's like,
Yeah,
but you look at what he's done
let him
in his
get
first
there.
2 seasons, and you look at everything. So what, and I think hockey fans need to stop basing everything off points. You know, that was one of the biggest reasons that guys get shipped out of the door. That was one of the biggest reasons Kane got shipped out of the door, because he wasn't producing. But sometimes they bring more to the table
That
than
was
what they were
attitude,
producing.
I think.
And, well, a lot of it was attitude. But a lot of people harped on him at the start
Well, yeah.
because he wasn't producing, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
It obviously was attitude, the reason why he was out the door, but a lot of people started harping on him because he wasn't scoring at the rate that he felt he should, and other people set these expectations. So, for me, if you're having an argument with someone with hockey, not necessarily have to bring up points, because I think on ice demeanor, whether they put 40 goals in a season or 10 goals in a season, they all bring their different components to a team, and saying that, oh, this guy's better because he's scoring on this pace, for me, isn't as good as saying, this guy's better because when he's on the ice, he controls the game. You feel comfortable with him back there. And yes,
Tyler
scoring is a
Myers.
great, and that's what I'm saying about Tyler
Game.
Myers.
Now that's what I'm saying. I was throwing the
Yeah.
points out.
No, I know.
That's amazing.
Yes.
But he's on pace for 60 some odd points. You know,
Well,
that
in a real season.
in a real season. You know, I'm just his play though. To me, he's got more potential to be. And worst comes to worst, if they can't sign Bufflin, if that's the guy like him and Trouba, that ain't bad.
I don't see any way that Bufflin doesn't sign here. I think they're going to throw
I
everything.
want them to get him locked up now.
I think
so they don't have to deal with.
I think
free
they lock
agency.
him up this summer.
I think
I'd
this
like
summer,
to. That's what I'm talking about.
7 or 5 for 7, like 5 years, $7 million a season.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, 35
And
million.
especially even if they make playoffs, but they get bumped, that's gonna be huge because then Buffalo will say, well, hey, I mean, we had a pretty good year this year. We're probably gonna be a little better next year, a little more experienced.
Yeah.
We'll know going in. I'm willing to commit to this team.
Now, here's my question.
Yeah.
Are teams going to be, are players, are they going to be a tad bit more interested after seeing like a news article like Hockey News saying Winnipeg Jets 2019? Do you think that would entice a player to maybe come here?
From what I've heard, the stigma that players don't want to come here. Apparently, out of all the guys they've brought here, apparently once they're here, they love it.
Yes.
They love it.
Yeah. Well,
you
play in front of a
It's
packed
like a
house
cup
every
of
night.
Mr. Noodles on a cold day.
The common media stereotype is that no one wants to play here because it's cold. All the hockey players go, I don't give a shit. I want to play hockey.
I want to
So
win. I
apparently,
want to be in an
you know,
environment.
yeah,
that wants
it's
to
not
win.
it's not Florida, California nice, but when they get here, they love it. They have
Yeah.
And think about it. Have they had one player not want to resign? One big player not want to resign here?
Who's
No.
that guy?
No, they
have
haven't.
they?
Oh, I
had
was trying
one?
to think.
No, they haven't.
No.
They've
no.
had they've had to
Every
lock
guy's
up
committed
almost all of their big time players
Yeah.
for contracts, and they've all had no problem staying here.
It was funny.
So
Just to that point of it's too cold here, it's funny because I was watching the Team Muslani tribute video, and he said, or it was an interview or something like that, and they said, what was it like going from Winnipeg, really cold city, to California? He's like, it was weird. You know, you get used to putting your parka on in January, but no, in Anaheim, on your off day, you're outside in shorts instead of being bundled up in a parka. He's like, it's weird because you go to the hockey rink all the time. You're just used to, cold weather because you grow up and you're like going into the rink, and then now all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go to practice in shorts and a t-shirt. Like,
Yeah, you go to practice and you get cold at practice.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly.
get warm at
yeah,
practice.
exactly.
it's minus 50 here, but you see them playing in an atmosphere like it was last night compared to playing in Buffalo, playing in LA, playing in Tampa.
What?
Like, you don't get that down there. Good teams, sure, but is the crowd like that? No.
I heard Tampa's
not
got
like that.
real good. Like,
Yeah.
like their fans are
Same with-
knowledgeable.
I've heard the same with Tampa, and I've heard the same with LA. LA actually has good fans. They don't have the burning passion throughout the city that we do, but I would say,
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
they
think
are.
when you're
anyone's gonna
at the-
touch that ever.
yeah, but
Maybe
but
Canadian cities, that's it.
They
when
are
you have-
Columbus dumb. We are the fifth line, whatever it was.
Fifth line.
Oh, so you're an AHL. You're an AHL West.
But with LA that I liked, that I've seen with their fans is when they're there, they're very, they don't sit, and they're very like into the game, and I think LA is just a good sports city for that.
I would agree. I think LA is one of the better American markets.
Not like I'm not
fan wise.
Exactly, and you know who built that?
Wayne Gretzky.
Yep.
If Wayne Gretzky could get traded, anyone could get traded.
That's one thing that I was thinking about, because like we've all played NHL games. One of the first things you try to do is go after that big guy. That, like, I try to get Stamkos on the Leafs all the time.
Guys,
I try to get Jamie Benn on the Jets every single time.
Yeah, of course.
And, like,
you mean you're asking who's our go-to guy right now?
No, I'm not saying that, but, like,
Mikhail Granlund.
You
He's real easy.
fuck you.
Yeah, him and
Real easy to
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
him and his 7 goals this year.
And Carl, hey, shut up.
Chris
and,
Thorburn has 7 goals
and
this
Carl,
year.
and Carl Hagelin. Dude, I get my team's sweet.
But where I'm going with this is, like, back then, Gretzky got traded. You will never see a guy like Crosby or McDavid or...
Maybe the next one will be Malkin.
Do you
Yeah,
think...
but I don't think Malkin's on that level. as
But,
Crosby
okay,
is.
but, like, is it the new NHL where you don't see
yeah.
big
Oh,
names,
that's what we're talking
like he's close. But.
big guys getting traded? Yes, okay. There are guys like Mike Modano who went to different teams. Guys like Daniel Alfredson who went to different teams. But they weren't that top... They were that tier below, I believe, top tier. But if you look at some of the best players of all time, Jaromir Jagr's a great example. He's just been on every team. But if you look at, like, the top guys of all time, they've all been with several different teams, with the exception, I think, being Ron Francis and Steve Yzerman.
Oh, of like everyone, do you think? Yep.
But Ron Francis,
Francis
won
played for 2 teams.
Yeah,
Well,
Toronto.
no, but the
and,
same franchise, right?
No, he played for Toronto,
Oh,
Carolina, and
Carolina.
Hartford.
Toronto, Carolina, Hart.
But, okay, you got Brendan Shanahan. He played for multiple franchises. Mark Messier, multiple franchises. Wayne Gretzky, multiple franchises. Doug Gilmour, multiple franchises.
Oh,
Greatest
yeah, and you
player
just
to
don't-
play hockey played for like 4 teams. So I mean,
Yeah. What? Yeah,
Well-
because St. Louis.
St. Louis for like a year or 2. Right?
Brett Hall, multiple teams.
So what
One
are
of
you
the best-
talking about? Oh, like we're never
Like,
going to
why is that not happening in this day and age? Why don't you see guys like a Jamie Benn
Because
go
it's
to a
hard to...
different team?
Do you want to be the guy
Because
that
Jamie
pulled the trigger on...
Jamie Benn only came into his coming like about 2 years ago.
No, but that...
He probably will get moved at some point.
Would
Dallas
you be
is
the guy
awful.
with your name on that? Be like, yeah, so I traded Jamie Benn.
I mean-
Or is that okay? Is the
Well-
fact that we don't see these big name trades, like the biggest name trade that we've probably seen in the last, I would say the top 2 trades in the last 5 years are the Sagan trade and the Kane trade.
5 years?
Sagan's got to be up. That's got to be
I think the
one.
Richards and the Carter deals the same
Okay.
day was a big deal.
No, but still,
At
that's
the time, that was a
Yes,
big deal.
so
Yeah,
that like
that
that
makes
that's
sense.
what I'm saying is we're having such a hard time thinking that. Back in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't hard, and is that why we don't see? Why we haven't yet seen a Taylor Hall, Nugent Hopkins, Yakupov, Eberle trade is because you just don't see that
because
nowadays.
there's fear of
Where-
the unknown and they don't want to commit
Yeah,
to that
Fear
move
of
they
the
have.
unknown, and I think with how much media attention those teams get now, I don't think they want to look stupid.
Well, Edmonton
I-
already looks stupid.
Which hey,
Well,
that's a great
yeah,
point.
they do.
Yeah.
No,
They're
well,
they're too proud. Too proud.
Yeah,
they don't
maybe.
want
no, but that media point's huge though,
Yeah.
because that's one thing that's vastly changed in the last decade, let alone 2 decades, 3 decades,
yeah.
is that the media pressure, ridiculous. Like half the time on Trade Center, the guy finds out from Twitter or when he's on Trade Center and
Yeah.
he's
He's on the phone with them.
yeah,
No, I
Yeah,
just thought that was just something interesting that I
yeah,
noticed.
that is.
No, I definitely agree.
A potential player that could get traded or be traded away for picks or something, or will, as Dan referred to him, Nazem Kadri or Evander Kane 2.0.
Saying it seems like he's becoming.
Now, I think it's a different situation, but your guys' opinions.
I
3
think-
game suspension from the team, now 4 game suspension from the league on his hit last
I
night.
think they're the same type of. I don't know. I would say I don't know them, but they seem to have the same ego, cocky attitude problem. To me, they have the same problem.
I feel like
They-
yeah, I agree with that.
I think Kadri thinks he's bigger than he is. I'm sorry. Right now, you're a second line player at best. Could you be the go-to guy? Yeah, but I think he has the same ego that Kane does. That's at least how it comes off to me. I don't know.
You go. I have my opinion on it.
Okay,
but you go.
well, no, I agree with Dan in the opinion. It's just with the Evander Kane situation, it started developing. It was almost as if Kadri already went in with that attitude when they drafted him. This is just my perspective of it. But with the Leafs, I like that they suspended him. We talked about it last week because they showed initiative to say they basically sat him down and said, and I've heard this multiple places now. It's essentially like they said, hey, we want you here for the future. This is your wake-up call. And then he goes in. Maybe he was just trying too hard, trying to say, hey, guys, I'm here for you. Goes to lay. I didn't see the hit, but lays a hit. Little bit. Well,
I'm
obviously
not really
dirty.
talking about the hit. I'm more talking about how the team suspended him.
No, I like that the team suspended
Yeah, no,
him,
that's-
showing because they said, hey, you know what?
I didn't see the hit. Was it that bad?
I didn't see it either.
Ah, dang.
I
But
heard
essentially
that they just didn't try and get out of the way and just ran the guy over.
I
Well, it had to be
But
4 games.
You
is a
have
big
to
one.
admit, like, look
Repeat offender.
Oh,
that
there
too.
you go.
Look at the sinking ship that Toronto is this year. Like, look how bad the media. Like sports experts have said they've never seen media that bad on a team before. Like, there's like so much tension with the media and the team. So
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
because the media
fine if
are assholes.
if he's given up on the
Sometimes.
season and he doesn't want to show up for
Allegedly.
practice. I can understand his frustration, but you gotta have character. You gotta still show up.
Oh, before you get going,
Okay, go ahead.
he could be traded. Fun fact, you could get traded after the trade deadline, but
Yes.
that player ineligible for playoffs.
Also,
Did not know. I learned that this year.
Yes,
Real
ineligible for playoffs.
See?
Like the trade deadline is just trade deadline for playoffs.
So we could have traded Kane to Buffalo after the fact, but whatever we got, we wouldn't have been able to use.
Exactly.
Interesting. Can they play regular season?
Yeah. Up until playoffs, they just can't play playoffs.
It's a very
That's weird. I did not know that.
like. I think it's to help teams. Let's say like 8 of your top 10 guys go down for 3 weeks, then you can still go out and get guys. I think that's one of the reasons because like just doing a trade freeze and then being like, yeah, now you have to bring up all your AHL guys, and then your AHL guys bring up ECHL guys, and your ECHL guys sign guys like me.
Yeah.
But
You get to keep your jersey today.
Yeah.
Payment.
Not forever though.
Yeah.
temporary.
Yeah, I think this Nazem Kadri thing's interesting.
Being a Leafs fan,
You don't
what's
see a
your
guy getting
perspective?
suspended by his team very often.
No, but I think
Rare.
it's one of two things. It's either the team being like, "Hey, you kid, smarten up," or being like, "I don't think you're not. I don't think you're what we want. I don't want you around the team right now." Maybe that's what it is. But you've also got to look like, I think it's a different situation from Kane because I don't think people put as much pressure on him to succeed. And I think he still tries to succeed, but isn't put in the position to do it. Kane was always put in the position to succeed, and this isn't just points-based. But Kane was given opportunities to play first-line minutes, second-line minutes, and never followed through with it. And he always had that chip on his shoulder where he was better than everyone else. Kadri has been a player that deserves that first-line role, but because Bozak literally can't play with anyone else on that team unless the guy's name is Phil Kessel, because his points per game and his entire Corsi rating drops to AHL levels, Kadri misses out being able to play on the first line, where I think he'd be a better fit. Now, do I think they should trade him and maybe get rid of him? I think it's a good option now. Unless Shanahan has decided that they're going to stick with him and Kadri sees that long term that they want him. But if this was kind of a turning point situation where Kadri doesn't want to be there or Shanahan doesn't want him there, it's time to trade him. You'll get a decent return back, whether it's draft picks, whatever. And I think he could go to a team like Philadelphia for a guy like Braden Shen or Sean Couturier or something like that.
Take Sean Couturier, it's beautiful.
Something like that where he fills in another role and makes a team that much better, especially a team. He could even go to a team like Calgary and make that team a lot deeper at the center position and better defensively and better possession rating because he's a good possession player and great in the shootout.
He's a good player. It's just, do you want to deal, again, with the headache and with what he brings?
Is he that
problem I
bad,
have-
though, or is it just amplified from Toronto media?
It's certainly amplified. He's in the
Well,
worst market.
It's amplified, but to get a 3-game suspension for sleeping in on a practice,
No, I don't think it's just sleeping
it's
in.
got to be. I mean, Shanahan said it's history. Like for all the stuff Kane allegedly did, he was never once suspended by the team.
That's true.
So I mean, there has to be a history.
Yeah.
My only question with if you trade him, because to me the writing's on the wall. Kessel's gone in the summer. He's not coming back. He said too much, and there's too much tension. I think he's gone. So if you dump Kessel, you have to keep Kadri because who are you going to build your team around if you don't?
Morgan Riley,
The defense.
William Nylander,
So you're gonna
Connor McDavid.
Well, that maybe.
Top 5 draft pick.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
To
But
me,
then
Kessel's pretty much as good as
Okay.
gone.
I don't think he's as good as gone because I think it depends what their draft pick is. If they get a guy like Dylan Strome, Mitch Marner, or Connor McDavid, or even Jack Eichel, if they get one of those 4 guys, that's a guy they can build around, and Kessel can work with them. Because I don't see. I know a lot of people want him gone. I think he's a very tradable piece because he's got a great contract for what he brings to a team. But I also think the teams that are going to take him are too close to the cap. One of the teams that I could see him going to is Florida. I've said that before. Calgary could I think Calgary could afford him.
Buffalo.
But
they're stockpiling.
Yeah, but oh god, him and Evander Kane on the same line.
The only reason
with McDavid in the middle.
The only reason I think that he's gone is I just think there's too much tension between him and the team. There's been too much
with the I
said.
Think what tension with the team though?
He
doesn't have. I think the team
it's with
likes
the media.
him. It's with the media.
It's always saying he's a great guy in the room.
Everybody on the team likes him. The management seems to have this perception of him that he's not as good as he is, but they see the potential trade value that he brings. And this is what I said with my last point is, what we were discussing earlier is they see a potential trade value that he brings, and they're like, ooh, we could get that, especially in a scorched earth plan. And he's one of the few guys that would be a huge deal, right? But I guess what the point that I'm trying to put across is I think that the perception that he's not a good guy on a team is media driven because the media in Toronto just basically doesn't like him because he's like a Marshawn Lynch. He doesn't like talking to the media. He has no reason to respect him. He could come off a 4-point night and there's some beat writer in Toronto that writes about how, oh, Phil Kessel forgot to back check at the 9:51 mark. It shows that he's a lazy player and he's really not a good hockey player. He's not worth $8 million. He had a 4-point game, but that's beside the point. Let me tell you about this 1 minute instance, not the entire game. That's what the Toronto media does, and I think it's a wrong perception of a good player. I don't think they're getting enough out of him right now. I don't think he's playing because I think if they're going to trade him, he asks for it. I know he said he wants to be there, but come on. The guy gets treated like dirt.
Yeah. Oh, he does.
And this is one of the reasons why players don't want to play in those markets is because if they make a wrong step, they get treated like garbage, and it's not fair.
I think the unfair thing is he's a great player. I don't think he's good enough that he can carry a team by himself.
Yes.
I don't think he's a Stamkos, Crosby level.
No, he's that, as Greg and I have said, that Hossa.
Yeah.
Yes.
He will be there.
Great player, but he has no supporting cast. You look at Stamkos, he has a supporting cast.
Stamkos isn't even the top scorer on his own team.
That team is unrecognized. I don't think people realize that they're a deep team.
Who?
Because Tampa.
Bay.
So good.
They don't have big name players, but they have players that are underrated. They don't get as much attention. I don't think Kessel has any help.
Situation in Toronto with the media is almost like when you're working for a big corporation where they never say thank you when you do a good job, but the moment you do a bad job, they make sure to tell you.
Well, but look how up until this year, Winnipeg media was the exact same way with the Jets. It was always crap. This year, most of the articles have been pretty positive. I'm surprised. I mean, but
the key is to win.
I think
if you lose, the media's gonna exploit it and let you hear about it.
And that situation in Toronto, if you think about it, they were in a playoff spot until mid-December.
Didn't they win 10 or 11 games in a row?
Yeah, they were playing really well, and then they just
they lost 15 in a row.
They threw it all away. I remember one point we were laughing at the whole Nashville 9-2 game, and I would take a Nashville 9-2 beating to get a 9-game winning streak again. But obviously now I'm all about the tank because I think that's the best thing. And I've talked to various Leaf fans, and they all agree. I think it's something that other people have to start realizing that a tank is a good thing because you can potentially get good players out of it.
Who was the last player to come out of wasn't there a stat the last time the Leafs did this bad, it was 72, 73.
Something, I don't know.
Either way, the last time they had a tank, the player they drafted in that first round was Wendell Clark.
Yep.
Wendell Clark is huge folklore in
Yeah.
Toronto. He's real good for Toronto.
Matt
For anyone,
another
really.
good player that played there.
Was he a tank?
He was not a pick. He was picked by the Quebec Nordiques and traded to Toronto.
How did that happen?
Because Quebec liked training random guys. I don't know. I don't remember who they got in return.
Al Forsberg?
No, the Forsberg trade for Lindros was pretty insane. Now I know we've focused on kind of negative stories. Let's focus on a pretty positive one.
Who's your captain?
No.
Are we going to talk about that? Come on, that was fun.
Well, that was one of the various chants that's happened at the MTS Center. We're pretty good at them.
Did you guys talk about the Thornton thing? Did you guys talk about it last week?
No.
Do you
no,
think
you
he's
think-
there next year? That's my
Joe
question.
Thornton?
Joe Thornton in San Jose. Does the GM get canned? Does Thornton get traded or
I think-
nothing?
Something
or
has
I
nothing.
think San Jose has missed their chance to capitalize on a trade to maximize return, obviously. But I think in missing that chance, I think they've passed their chance to win the cup. I
for sure.
With this
honestly do.
I-
Now,
yeah.
to answer your question, I don't think Joe Thornton's there next year. I think
don't
he
think
does
he's-
maybe what a Brad Richards does, not to Chicago, but to a team that he's not going to be the guy and he won't be relied fully upon, but he's expected to contribute. Because knowing Joe Thornton, he can still contribute.
So the GM's safe in your opinion? Because apparently he has a no trade clause and he does not want to leave.
The GM is safe?
Do you think the GM is safe?
Yes, I do.
'Cause that's the guy that.
He's still done great moves for that organization. Look at the draft picks. Like,
Yeah, but if your highest paid player has a no trade and he's not willing to move it and he doesn't get along with your GM, and the GM's been there for 10 years and they haven't won anything.
well, maybe he's going to bring
You know,
something to that. Maybe this
is
is
it
where he
time for
earns
a
his buck
change?
and shows him, say, hey, if you waive your no trade clause, I've talked to a few people. These are who you can go to. Joe, you're older in your career. I know you want that
What
cup.
position does he play?
Center.
Center.
Could he play wing? Didn't he play wing with Marlowe?
He could play whatever
He
he
probably
wants,
could.
probably.
Centers are usually pretty.
Now I know
adaptable.
it's probably not a trade that would happen because I think it'd be stupid in San Jose to do it. But he would fit in Anaheim potentially or Tampa Bay
I don't think
or
Pittsburgh. That's where I think he'd end up.
no, why be third? Well, I guess if he plays
Because
wing,
Pittsburgh always gets guys.
Yeah,
like that.
they
Because
do.
Pittsburgh always gets
You
the
guys,
guy.
how long's his contract left?
I don't even know.
probably 2 years. Cap Cake.
Damn it, you! I was just about to say go to Capgate too. Well, say hypothetically has 1 year left on his contract and he wants to get like another 25, 30 million. Come on down to Philadelphia. We're real good at handing out shitty contracts.
Yeah,
but
but I think he
Old-
wants to win a
Old
cup.
Centerman. Yeah, apparently Vinny wanted to win a cup too, but he's like, you know what? I can do with an extra 20 million in my life. Come on over, buddy. Come
What
here.
about-
Let me sign that paper.
What about
Where do you guys
Montreal?
have him? Ooh, that's
Oh, they could do that.
Big boy
too.
center
yeah.
to play
Could
with
they,
Pacioretty.
could they facilitate a trade like that? That's a lot of money. I think he
That's
makes
sick.
money, right? He
Yeah.
makes
It's like
money.
$9 million or something.
Whoa! Thorne makes $9 million.
I'll check it. He makes a lot.
NHLnumbers.com.
Okay, well, while you guys are there,
I'm not there.
okay, well, while we're talking about, I think it's really disappointing because Sharks were always one of those teams that, unless the Flames were playing them or someone like Super Prowess that I wanted to win, I'd always cheer for the Sharks because it's just like, come on,
Yeah.
always.
Sorry,
Like,
I
dude,
lied. He makes 6.75
That's still
Okay,
quite
still
a
movable.
significant amount.
But
It's still
he
movable.
is... How old is he?
35.
He's got to be 40 years old.
No, he's like 35, 33.
Him and Marlowe were picked 1-2, I believe, in that draft.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
Okay. To move on from Thornton, a positive story because the Thornton one was not, and Dan kind of ruined my positivity train in
Thornton
his
is
corner.
35, going to be 36
Hey,
in
you did it.
July.
Right on.
Andrew Hammond of the Ottawa Senators.
The Hamburglar.
The Hamburglar.
Burglar.
Tied the 12 straight games of less than 2 goals against. 2 goals against or less.
His first 12 games in the league.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Second
this
goalie to
like
do
AHL
that.
numbers? The
Yeah.
NHL numbers?
869 in the
He had
AHL.
a
save percent.
300 goals against average. He was, remember that I said that goalie gave up 3 goals in 21 seconds? Or in 21 seconds?
That was him?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah!
His goals against average that game was 299.98.
Like, he has astonished everyone, has brought Ottawa to a playoff spot.
Potentially.
Does he flatten out like Hutchinson did?
But what I'm hearing is they're not even going to... He's going to be UFA. Because they have Leonard and Anderson. And they don't
Yeah.
want to piss it. That's what I heard last week.
I
I've
don't
heard
piss
a
him
But
off.
lot
he's
of...
played so well. How
But
do you
here's
not
the
keep
thing.
the guy?
Is it a one-time thing a la Andrew Raycroft in Boston? Is it a one-time thing with Dwayne Rollison in Edmonton? It's so hard to tell if a goalie, if he's just playing... Because goalies get hot and cold, right? Like, Cam Ward just was on fire for a run and brought a team to a Stanley Cup final and won it.
Antoniemi, same thing.
Yeah. It's about if a goalie gets hot at the right time, he looks better. Honestly, if I'm Ottawa, it's not a bad move.
He's going to level out because there's no way the goalie plays as well as he plays all the time.
Unless it's Carey Price.
Well, but even then, like he's 12-0 and he's 11-0-1. He hasn't given up more than 2 goals in a
Here's
game.
the thing with
When
Hammond.
it happens,
He's
Is
going to
he gonna-
level out, and he'll get crapped on when he does, because it's going to look like he's not as good. He could be,
Guys.
I don't know, maybe. Who knows?
what could happen?
Eberle to Ottawa for Hammond. Edmonton's in the market for a goalie.
Nugent Hopkins instead?
No, I think the unmovables are Taylor Hall,
Nugent
RNH.
Hopkins.
I wouldn't move those guys.
Yeah.
I'd move either Ebbs or Yak's contract is up.
What?
Yak's,
RFA. Woo.
yeah. And it's like, what do you pay
Yeah,
him?
but
Because he hasn't really...
3, maybe 2.
Yakupov, like,
No, but
really?
but I'm saying Yak for Hammond.
Wow,
Before
maybe.
both...
If
If
they
they
can
do it on the
squeeze-
draft, they have a few days to work out
If they
contract.
can squeeze Eberle, I'd take him over Yakupov.
That's
Yes,
why.
but maybe Edmonton
Oh.
won't budge because... to me, it seems Yakupov's more of an unknown and Hammond's more of an unknown. Maybe they both just want to gamble and whatever. They're both RFAs then. You still... Or Hammond, is he an RFA? No, UFA.
He's going to be UFA, I think.
I wish I knew his
Um,
age. He's older,
I
right?
don't know.
It's got to be 25, 26.
But you said Yakupov. I have an interesting stat about you. It's completely random. It's
Yeah.
not.
No, that's fine.
Well,
while
let
you're
me
looking
find
for
it
that,
on my Twitter.
Yeah, just to confirm, last week we talked about it at length. AHL, the Ice Caps are moving to Winnipeg. The Hamilton Bulldogs are moving to St. John's. I forget what's going to Hamilton. Nothing. right now?
Belleville Bulls.
Belleville
Belleville
Bulls,
Bulls, thank you.
OHL.
Yes, good. I was hoping one of you guys would know. And OHL is getting a new team. Flint Firebirds.
Flint,
Yes,
Michigan?
from Flint, Michigan.
Missed
Yes.
opportunity in
Flint,
the
Michigan Mega Bowl.
tropics.
Flint, Michigan Mega
Firebirds?
Bowl.
They're called the Flint Firebirds. Logo ain't bad. Kind of reminiscent of the New Orleans Pelicans logo. Like same colors.
You know
But-
what would have been better? It's Flint Tropics.
Missed
If
opportunity.
they make the Calder Cup Finals, can they please rename it the Flint, Michigan
no, it's
Mega Bowl?
OHL. It's
OHL.
junior.
Oh,
Dude.
Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl has to be a thing.
They could have totally gotten away with Flint Tropics.
That's awesome.
It's junior hockey. Come on, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
All right, go. What's this Yakupov?
Just a tweet that NHL expert picks. I don't know who that is, but they tweeted this.
Okay.
Apparently, a manager at a hotel restaurant in Edmonton says Neil Yakupov frequently walks in with a homeless man and buys $100 worth of food for him.
Yeah, no, I did read that
I've
article.
heard that, yeah.
That's pretty. Oh, when we're talking
He's been
about.
trying to do better in the society and
Did
stuff.
you guys?
Hey, that's awesome.
Did you guys talk about the little girl at the Jets game? Like what happened
Yes.
the second
Yes.
time when the kid gave her the stick, like the
Yeah,
little boy.
Greg saw
And
that.
then did you see what happened to the kid?
You
The
gotta
other
go
kid?
to the Jets game or Jets locker room and
Anthony
stuff like
Peluso gave the boy a stick, and it was autographed by the entire team.
That's awesome.
And he got to sit behind the bench with the girl and her family.
that.
Hey, right on.
So I thought that was pretty.
Feeling good. I don't know a song about feel good. Feel good, real
What's
good.
that- what's
It's
that song,
same. Oh, it's same.
I don't know what you're singing.
Me neither. I'm trying to mix words together.
Don't. You're not good at it.
I know.
You're not professional.
Stop. Quit now.
It's nice when you see stuff like that, though.
That's
'cause
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
players don't have to do anything,
No.
but like they don't have to do anything.
Okay,
so
guys.
it's nice.
I know. Are we going out? I just wanted to say
Yeah.
about Anthony Peluso. His face when that Sean McKenzie Florida diving hit went in because he was
Oh.
like the. I don't know why he was playing defense, but he was
was
the
the
guy
last
back.
guy back?
His face was
Yikes.
like, "Oh come on, guys!"
This is why I play 3 minutes a game.
Yeah, no, I don't blame him at all. But that was just an awesome goal.
No, I was
That
just gonna
was
say
super
until
bad.
you mentioned that thing, I was like, oh, we're actually gonna go out on a positive note.
Never ever.
No.
Why would we go
Why-
on positive?
why?
notes?
You know what? I
Let's
will
make
give
it.
you guys this positive note. I'll let you guys think this. While you're listening to this and listening to the words coming out of my mouth, just remember that moments after I said these words, I started eating a Treats of Pizza.
Because Nick Bukestad, you did it. Everyone together, clap. He did it. He did it. I'll post a picture. Treats of Pizza, I said, like, one of the very first podcasts. The moment someone on the Florida Panthers scores 38 points or more, I'll buy a Treats of Pizza.
What's he at? Does anyone know?
42, 43, and they have two guys over 38. But they have three guys. One
What
guy's
you give me?
UC
2?
Jokinen's at 38, and then they have Huberto at 41 and Bukestad at 43.
Christ, we should get like 3 or 4. Of
Yeah,
these.
we should get. I should have bought a family slab.
No, that's when you just buy a Blizzard cake. And those are so
What's a
good.
blizzard?
Never
cake?
had that. What is that?
I never had a DQ Blizzard cake.
No.
Is it just like an
When's
ice
the
cream
next
cake?
milestone?
ice
We're
cream
getting
cake.
a blizzard cake. What's the next
If
milestone?
Nick Bukestad hits 50 points this year.
No, that's way too close.
Oh, he's
That's
gonna do
very
that.
possible.
How many goals does he have?
24? 30.
30.
30 Nicky B Blizzard Tree Pizza?
Yes.
Okay.
What flavor? We have to hammer
Not
it.
Blizzard Tree Pizza. It's a Blizzard cake. It's an actual
Oreo.
ice cream cake.
Oreo.
Oreo? Do you like Oreo?
Yeah, I think it's just like one standard cake. I don't
Okay,
know.
Whatever
well,
it
what
is.
We'll get a
flavor are we
cake.
getting?
No,
Okay.
it's just like one cake flavor. I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay.
They just
that's
call
fine.
it a Blizzard cake.
Or triple baconators.
Ooh, both. No.
No.
No, wait.
Triple
No,
baconers
no, no,
on
no, wait,
top
wait,
of
wait,
DQ Blizzards?
Wait, no. We're going to do triple baconators and DQ. We'll eat triple baconators before Wait podcast and Blizzard after. Jets' first playoff game.
Ooh.
I'm going to Shanaban myself from saying playoffs. I'm scared. I don't want to say it anymore.
Jets 83rd game.
Yes, there you go, 83rd, and that doesn't count first preseason next year. All right, guys.
83rd. How about if the Jets play late April? I will get a triple baconator, a large Frosty, large fries, and an entire Blizzard cake.
That's
And a jet dog.
Oh, for yourself.
myself.
And a jet dog.
Oh, that means you're at the game.
Wow.
I wanna go to-
Okay.
No,
Now you just
well-
one-upped us.
Okay, one
We'll order
upper.
them. No, we'll special order.
Well,
Special
you
order.
could special order jet dogs? What have I been doing with my
No.
life?
I
All
think
right.
You could deliver Jets dogs.
All right, until next time. See you later, guys. Thank
Check
you.
out our email and Twitter.
Email and Twitter. That's what Greg tried to say.
No questions, no comments, no one cares about us.
We don't care. They never care.